Safe and sound.
Good evening, people. Good evening.
Salute, fam. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, JG?
Man, I am tired. That old age is hitting me hard every single day.
Well,
I'm
I could
not
share.
40, but still, I feel like I'm about 60.
Well, I could share some secrets with you. It only gets worse, my brother.
Yeah, unfortunately.
People ask me today, "What's wrong with you? You're not your uppity self." I said, "Listen, I'll tell you right now. The past 3 days, I feel like energy's being sucked out of me, man.
Facts.
I don't
Facts.
know if it's a transition from winter to spring. I don't know what the season's like by you, but for whatever reason, man, energy is just not my friend lately."
I know, right? 'Cause see, where I am, we're in a bluff. That's why they call it the Bluff City. So the
Okay.
weather's always up and down, left and right. It'll be 80 one day, then 40 the next day. Like
Yeah,
that. It's
like they
crazy.
say over here, it may be sunny, it may be rainy, it may be snowy. That's what May brings in Montreal. A bunch
Yeah.
of May things that could possibly happen.
Yeah. But you know what they say? All things can be solved, man. Drink water, eat better, go walking every now and then. But I'm just too lazy to do it. So, you know,
You know what I'm saying? Energy is required for some of those activities. And yes, it's very
yeah.
easy to kick yourself in the ass and get out there. But sometimes it's required that you sit down and just chill and recoup. Your body might be trying to tell you something. You just got to listen. Just don't listen too long and put on
Yeah.
50 pounds. So I bet you all wondering, the few of you that are there, Mr. Keely Chow, Dewan, Drop Shop, welcome. You're wondering, where's the other one? Yeah, Anzo. Where's Anzo? Zachary, welcome. Well, Anzo went to see, what was it, JG?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, he went to see Return of the Jedi tonight, and he's on his way home. He'll be with us shortly. But yeah, I put off some events to be here with my fam every Wednesday night. You think Gonzo will get his shit in check? You always bashing my shit when I ain't around. So
I know, right?
you know,
Always.
I
But
love tennis, yo. I
I
love
gotta, I
tennis.
gotta say something real quick. I gotta say something. Zachary,
Hey,
don't
JG.
come in here with this blasphemy.
Watch how fast he returns, eh? This shit's listening, huh? The spy.
Look at this. Look at this, Zachary Madu Mo. I'm sorry if I butcher your last name, Zachary. That comment. Look, dude. Let me tell you something. We all know the NBA is scripted for the Lakers to win. All right. Anytime the Warriors only get 6 free throws, dude, you know it's all scripted. So yeah, have your joy now. Have it now. AD is just one fall away from being out the rest of the seasons. I mean, series. So enjoy it while it lasts, my brother. Enjoy it.
I have to agree. I am no fan of the Lakers myself. I feel like too many cheerleaders coming out there again. They are up and down team that require two older guys
Hmm.
to hold it down. And it just takes one rebound for AD to come down wrong or for LeBron to just, someone run past him too fast. Shit happens.
But you
Shit
know,
happens.
that's why they got PEDs, man. That's why that guy, I forget his name, used to be a UFC fighter. He got banned, I believe. But he said that LeBron's on EPO. He
What's
said
that?
that his EPO is like this. He said it's king of the PEDs.
Oh, really?
And he also mentioned that he knows because his drug guy, his handler, also gives LeBron his stuff. So I mean, you
Interesting.
look, you 38, jumping higher than all these young guys, running faster. I don't care how much you work out. You taking something.
Well, he is somewhat of a God gift. Came into the league being kind of unorthodox for a man that big to be running that fast, jumping that high. You know, so if anybody's gonna pull it off, and I'm not doubting you, JG, I'm not doubting your information, but if I were to think anybody could pull that off, not needing any assistance, it would be him. But at his age, to see him run down and still do reverses like, wait, what year are we watching? You know what I mean? Did you see that shit he did the other night? Was it against the Grizzlies? He came under and did a reverse dunk, and I was like, hold on.
Man, I don't even want to
It's
talk about that series no more.
2023 we're watching? How
I
is
don't
this
even
guy
want to talk
pulling
about the
that shit off?
Grizzlies. They disappointed me so much.
But you didn't foresee that coming?
I figured they were losing 6 because the key players they had out and just the youth and all the shit talking they were doing. You don't shit talk a goat. He's not the goat to me, but he's one of the goats. You don't shit talk a
You
goat.
gotta you gotta give him respect.
You gotta respect him. I understand. It's a game. It's competition. But at the end of the day, this dude has put in what 20 years. Is it 20 years? I believe.
If not more.
Dude, you got to give him respect.
Not only that, JG. If you're gonna fucking do that shit, you gotta back it up.
Exactly.
If you talk that shit and you don't back it up and then you go run and hide when it's time for your calling, that makes the
Exactly.
situation 10 times worse.
And you saw what the Grizzlies did. They said Dylan Brooks. They got us talking all the shit. He will not
Yep.
be back next season with no matter the circumstances.
Yes, this is what they said, huh?
That's what they said. So he'll be in Shanghai somewhere.
But on first take, they're saying basically he is not the scapegoat. You know?
Well,
Uh
I mean, I think the coach needs to go. I think they
yeah.
need some veterans on that team to shut these young guys up and tell
Yeah,
them, hey,
the
respect the
whole
OGs.
organization when they were doing good, I think they were second place in the league, and
Hmm.
then that whole shit happened with Ja with the gun and all kinds of stupidities to just disrupt the flow of that team. And then that's where the veterans come into play when they say, if the veterans were there, what's up, Doc? If the veterans were there, they'd be kept in check and da 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 da
Hmm.
da. There's a floor plan when you go to the NBA. They give you like a book, you have your
Yeah.
agent. He takes care of you. All you got to do is go and play, take advantage of your all of the shit you get for being there, and stay out of trouble.
Simple.
I
You
don't
would
think
think it's
that's a
simple.
lot to ask. I don't care where you come from. I'm sorry. If you're from the ghetto, you didn't just leave the ghetto and go straight to the NBA. There was some conditioning. You had to go play some Ivy League ball or some kind of ball where they told you, when you get there, this is how you have to be. This is who you're going to roll with. I don't know why you think you can carry that same mentality into a league where you're on a microscope of the internet.
Hmm.
There's nothing bigger than that. Nothing bigger than that. One little event and your life is ruined. Where
Exactly.
20 years ago, nobody even knew about it.
Mm. Look at Mike Jordan, the gambling allegations that came about. Let's see how long that took to come out.
You know, it's too late now. Had that come out when he was in his prime, who knew what to say what would happen?
Exactly. Exactly. Especially with Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, all these social media outlets out.
Well,
Man,
Zach's got a good point. Jaw's got to grow up. I saw some stupid shit on Facebook where they're making comparisons to him and Jordan. listen, listen. If anything, he's a close Iverson, taking
yeah,
nothing
I
away
agree.
from Iverson, but it's a different kind of ball. You
Hmm.
can't. It's not. Listen, for you, I don't even think Ja made that note, right? Somebody threw that out there, some stupid,
Hmm.
just to start fire. But for that notion to even be thought of, are you fucking insane?
The closest thing I've seen to Jordan, for me, Kobe Bryant,
I'd have to agree. I'd have
hands
to
down,
agree.
Kobe. God
I
rest his
really
soul.
have to agree. And you know what? I never really liked him, and a lot of people in the NBA didn't like him. But I'll tell you something, Isaiah. I had a chance to see this guy play ball. Like all of these guys, a lot of people didn't have a chance to see them. They're just watching YouTube videos of these guys. But when
Hmm.
you're watching the games live, it's not live in person, but live in the present. It's a whole different ball game. Like you think, like when we're playing ball, how could you miss an open shot, JG? You're only 5 feet away, right? When you see
Exactly.
NBA players missing those shots, but back in those days, those superstars, and there were so many of them, it's like they never missed, man. They did the craziest shit, and that ball always just went in.
I mean, that make it look so easy. Sitting right under the basket. Just look at it, just lightly just throw it up there and it goes in. You're in the gym or in the parks and where you're doing it, it's hitting everything but the net.
You know what I
Right?
mean?
You're like,
And
why they make it that easy?
and look at all the guys who didn't win, like Charles Barkley, just to say,
Hmm.
right? All these guys who never won a chip. Who do they all blame? What up, Big D? When you coming in, man? When you coming in?
No cop topics as far as I know.
No, none tonight. But on that notion, JG, how many? Well, I don't even remember what I asked you.
How many I guess you say how many did MJ stop from winning championships?
Yeah, like I mean, no, how many great players played during
Oh,
his era that did not win championships? Like Carl Malone is
hmm,
and is one to mention. There's so many that they more or less blame one man for not getting that chip.
yeah, I mean you go back to the old Golden State Warriors with Ron TMC, right? That was just dynamite, right? You had the Seattle Supersonics,
hmm
right, with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. They were doing their thing out west.
You
you
had
got a
Detroit, you had
Detroit,
Phoenix.
Phoenix, and you mentioned people forget Cavs way back in the day. They were
Yep,
pretty
yep.
good. They
Yes,
were
they did when
pretty
they
good.
had Lance and Marley, and there was a lot of like
Hmm.
this was my argument. Now there's a lot of teams, super teams,
Yeah.
right? Back in our day, there was a lot of good balanced teams.
Yes. Everybody had this star on their team. Everybody.
Everybody had a star. I could tell you enough teams in the NBA right now, with starting with my team, the Raptors, they don't have a superstar in their team. You want to tell
Hmm.
me Siakam is a superstar? Are you
Hell
crazy?
no.
Van Fleet? No. They're maybe NBA All Star. There are no superstars on that team. How in 2023 could you have a team in the NBA where there's teams that have 3 and 4 superstars and can't win? How do you think you're gonna
Exactly.
win? I mean, you got to be a fucking great coach to be pulling off anything, and that coach got fired.
Hmm. Jerry Sloan, excellent coach. Anytime, what was it, like 2, 3 years in a row, or 2 years in a row, you're going up against Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers, and knocking them out the playoffs with old ass Karl Malone, old ass short pants wearing John Stockton,
You know
Jeff
what I mean?
Hornacek.
You know
You
what
know
I mean?
what I mean, dude? It's so when
But that
people talk
team was
about
a machine.
yeah, when people talk about the NBA now, today's players will beat those guys. Then I say hell no, especially with the rules now, where you can give them space, do whatever the hell they want to do. Oh, dude, it's over, over.
I remember Larry Payton. Larry Payton. It was Larry Payton.
Larry Bird,
No, Payton. Gary Payton
Barry Payton, yeah, yeah,
and Sean Kemp. Oh, you remember Sean Kemp?
yes, dunking
Oh
over
my God,
everybody.
this guy dunked like every man wish they could dunk like. Man, this guy would bend rims like nothing, like with ease, with ease. And the beautiful thing about it too, JG, back in them days, these guys were in the dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now
People
these
forget.
prima donnas today want to be in a crowd throwing up numbers when everybody wants to see them. You don't think everyone wants to see Morant in that fucking dunk contest?
Exactly. What was his excuse? Oh well, you saw what was it? Aaron Gordon, I think the people say got cheated. He says, no, it was who was it?
Yeah, it was Gordon who got cheated. I mean, it was a close one, but I think Gordon pulled it off.
Yeah, he did dunks. I only saw
Gordon
him
did
video.
that shit under the leg stretched out. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
those are dunks I've
What?
only seen in 2K. Like I've never seen that in real life. So it's
These fucking glasses. I can't even see what Danny's writing to read it out. You see that shit, JG? Let me
where
back up.
then.
What Danny's
Uh,
writing.
y'all have a great show. I'm going fishing in Florida this weekend. I'm
Oh,
getting my rods and tackle box in order. Country ass. Go ahead, enjoy yourself, brother.
enjoy, Danny, man. Enjoy.
Enjoy it.
I don't know how far out Anzu is. I don't know
Yeah,
how long he wants us to shoot the shit.
he said
But
y'all
you
start
know,
talking. We'll start with dealing with depression
okay,
in the
dealing
private
with
chat.
depression. I like that breakup shit. Wait, is are they both in the same depression and breakups?
Uh, I guess I guess they're different, but they can be one and the same because depression can cause breakups,
Yeah,
right?
and breakups do cause depression.
That is true. That is
you
true.
know?
That is true.
Okay. Well, for me, I don't think I think depression's being handled possibly the same way as cancer is,
Mm,
It's a money making opportunity with little effort to actually resolve the cause because that might affect the money making. Because um not shy to say it because we come out here and say everything on the show. I had a little stint where I had a depression, but I didn't even know because I might even have talked about it to be honest, but I
hmm
didn't even know till I went to see my doctor because I just felt I was a little bit out of character. And he goes, "Well, tell me what's up." And I told him, "Well, to be honest, I'm not really sleeping good. I lack motivation. Um, I don't want to do anything. I don't train. I'm not really interested in sports, and that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm always feeling tired." He goes, "Well, you're throwing out symptoms of depression. Now, if you don't take a step back and actually reflect on that, how do you know you're depressed to even go see somebody? Because the ego plays a very big role when it comes to the men. They're not willing to really talk because they don't want to look like they're weak. You know,
Yeah.
Yo,
and
what up, guys?
what up,
Onzo.
bigger? What up, bigger? I
What's
was just we
going
just
on?
started talking about depression, and I was
Okay.
telling him about my little stint where my work was overwhelming. Um, to the point where it freaked me out. So I took a month off, and when that month was over, it was time to go back to work. It was like there was no real interest. No one really asked me, "Hey, how you doing? Like, did the month help? You feeling better?" No human resources, nobody. Till I did something, they actually reached out to me and remembered that I was still there. So I don't know how they think they resolved anything in me taking this time to deal with mental issue if they don't even acknowledge it.
That is true.
What's to stop it from happening again and again and again and again?
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you, man. Go ahead, Gigi.
I
I'm
think
trying to
for
get my
me it was
camera to work. It's not working for some reason. Go ahead.
I think for me it was freshman year in college. Um when I first I probably had depression before then, didn't know it, but I noticed it freshman year in college. You got all these expectations, you're thinking about your future. Are you doing the right thing? Is college for you? You're not having a girlfriend at the time and just you're trying to find yourself, who you are, what group you fit in, if you fit in the group at all. And that can weigh down on somebody, especially I used to hate the saying of you're too young to be depressed. Right? And you would think, yeah, you should be young and depressed. But we're seeing kids 9, 10 committing suicide due to bullying and depression, right? We're seeing teenagers going through all kind of problems that they shouldn't be having to go through. And especially with young men, when we're sad or upset, we're told to man up at a young
Hmm.
age. We're kind of told not to show signs of
Weakness.
weakness. And to speak about depression to a lot of people, I would say a lot, but a percentage of people could be a signs of showing that hey, you're weak. You
And
can't
it's
handle
very
things.
it's prominent in our neck of the
Yes.
woods per se.
Yes. Yes. So you have a lot of especially young black men, Latino men, because I'm familiar with both. go through that. What are we to raise our sons to do? Same thing. Hey, no, man up. You know what I mean? Don't be weak. Maybe not in those words, but in general, that's kind of what we're saying. And so then you go on to how to deal with it. First is acknowledging that you have depression.
Yep.
Could be going to a therapist or something like that, but you got to acknowledge it. Second is, what is the root of that depression?
It's so funny. Just on our conversation, it just dawned on me. You ever notice how when men cry, they always cry uncontrollably, and when women cry, they seem like they're in such control?
Because
women.
men are. Go ahead, Roberto.
Well, my theory is because women cry often. Men hold shit in so much that when they do cry, it's a combination of everything. That's why they hyperventilate and they fucking got shit coming out their nose, and they cry horribly, men, because they carry so much in them to the point that when it comes out like an explosion. That's just my theory. I could be wrong.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
And we're always taught not to cry, you know what I mean? As men.
This is what JG was saying. Be strong, man up.
And as I'm getting older and listen to elders like you guys, OGs like you, it's crying to me is not weak. It's not a weak move anymore, like I used to think it was. Because you're told if you cry in front of people, you're weak. Know what I mean? Or you man up. Now I have more respect for a man who is willing to cry, show emotions, and show that they're hurt, show that they're in pain, as opposed to someone who's just trying to hide it. And all of a sudden, like you said, it just blows up. There was a situation here where I am. Some guy went to the Fox 13 News studio, started shooting in the lobby.
Because whatever is making you cry is causing you pain. And if you don't release that pain, keeping it in, it's like, taking a haul of a cigarette and then not exhaling. It's got to be doing some damage eventually to the point where it's going to fuck you up.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, right? So I always ask, like, how do we deal with that, right? Because, you have that stigma, which like, don't cry, hold it in. And I find when people hold it in too long, then what ends up happening is one day they just blow up. And you know what I mean? They can't hold it in and they just blow up and they lose it, so.
And nobody can understand.
Right. Absolutely. And it's hard to sit there and tell somebody who's like suffering from depression to get over it. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest things that they say to people. Oh, just get over it. You guys will be fine. You know what I mean? Man up. I heard that so many times. Like, man up. But there's times, man, you just can't. Like, we're human beings at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And we have feelings and you got to let it out, man. It's a hard thing to deal with. But I also think that, if you can train your mind to be depressed and think everything is bad, then you can train your mind to think good thoughts. You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest things that I think is that can help somebody who's suffering from depression is to just start thinking positive things every day, no matter how bad it is or how, bad you think life is. You just got to keep being positive, keep being positive, keep being positive.
Yep.
And then sooner or later, you're going to start feeling positive. And it's easier said than done. I'll give you that. It's way easier said than done, but it can absolutely be done 100%.
And you'll notice along your way that there's always going to be a few people that's going to ask you, are you okay? Are you okay? I suggest you weigh those people out and find one that you feel is trustworthy enough to express yourself, because talking is very good as well. Because just knowing that you're not alone is a blessing right there. Because more times than not, we feel alone in our thoughts because we don't share it. And we think only we are going through it. And as soon as someone could tell you their experience and they've gone through it, it's like a monkey off your shoulder, a weight off your back.
100%.
But if you don't talk to nobody, that shit never happens.
You're absolutely right. And you know what's another issue is that, we as men, we don't like to talk about our feelings and shit that we're going through to other men, right? Because you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be, people making fun of you or anything like that, or you know what I mean, your boys ragging on you. So
Mm.
you keep all that shit bottled in. But like Roberto said, you have to find somebody that you can actually talk to and open up to, and they're not gonna judge you. You need to, man. You know what I mean? The more you stay by yourself, is the more depressed you are going to be, right?
That is
Like
true.
100.
100%, because you're going to be in your own head. So you're always going to be thinking
Your
about the
thoughts are the
negative
worst
things.
thoughts. You should not be alone.
Facts, 100%.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And when you're like that, you don't think of any good stuff. Everything is negative, negative. That's all you think about is negative stuff, right? You got to come out your box. If one of your boys hollers at you and says, "Hey, yo, man, let's go out for a drink," even though you don't want to,
Get
you
Mm-hmm.
should
out.
still go. Yeah, get out, go, do something, enjoy that time, have some fun, because it could change your life. You know what I mean? You could change your life. You never know what can happen. You may go out there and have a good time, but
Meet
one of the
somebody.
right,
Talk.
Mm-hmm.
100%. But one of the biggest problem is after you do that, you go right back to your life being alone or something like that, right? So you have to make sure that you always, have someone to talk to. I mean, maybe you have a good friend looking out for you or something like that, because it ain't easy, man. Trust me on that one. It ain't easy.
And find some activity. You know what I mean? Like why they should teach kickboxing and stuff. One of the three main reasons why people went: to lose weight, to look better, and
Mm-hmm.
depression.
100.
And depression.
100%.
You hit that bag, man, to relieve all that stress, frustration, whatever anger you have. You feel so much better afterwards. And like you said, Onzo, you still have to go back to your normal life,
Mm-hmm.
but at least you have an outlet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, and like you said earlier, we were talking about the breakups, right? The
Hmm.
breakups do add to depression 100%. So that's something that happens to a lot of people. You've been in a relationship for how many years, and then all of a sudden that relationship is over. That can definitely put you into a huge depression, you know?
Yes.
And I don't know about JG, but I know me and Roberto went through one of them breakups, man. Roberto, how did you get through yours?
Um, in the beginning, I was fooling myself, telling me it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When there's kids involved, not to say that it doesn't matter when there isn't, but when there is, it matters that much more.
Mm-hmm.
They started haunting me.
Mm.
Like they started popping up in my face, and I know they're not dead. Like why am I going through this?
Mm-hmm.
And breaking down, crying, and again, that's when I had that revelation that I didn't like who I was. I could literally look at myself and say, if I were chilling with me, I wouldn't want to chill with me. I was
Mm-hmm.
bitter. I was bitter. I was not a good person to be around, just put it that way. Not that I'm something special today, but I like to think I'm better because I'm not that person I used to be. And that's what helped me get over it, Anzo. Just reflecting, because if you don't straighten your shit up, nothing's gonna get straightened up in the end because you're just playing yourself. Most
100%.
of the time, most of the time when men, they take no responsibility in a breakup.
Hmm.
Even when their brethren will tell them, "Yo, that's all you, dog. That's all
Mm-hmm.
you." I don't even know how this girl stayed with you, yo. To be honest,
Facts.
your
Facts.
friends will tell you that more often than not. But these guys
Mm-hmm.
will still say, "Yo, this girl did this girl did that." They
Hmm.
will not reflect on themselves because their ego's too big or their narcissistic ways will not allow them to. I had to get rid of my ego, yo. Well, not all of them, but the one that was
Mm-hmm.
holding me back.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's how all
Um,
F your ego came, remember?
hmm
Yep.
I went in. I went into a huge depression when that happened to me, right? But at the same time, I lost everything. You know what I mean? It just piled up on me,
Yep.
and you know, we each have our ways. We gotta figure out how to get out of it. I've said many times how I got out of mine, right? But at the same time, it's not it's not gonna work for everybody. But sometimes you get to the point where you just think like you ain't never gonna find anybody like the person you broke up with, and
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And you feel like, especially if it's your fault. If the breakup ends up being your fault, then I say you feel like, you know, it's 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 just you blame yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everything is a blame yourself. Oh, I could have did better this and I could have did better that. And to be honest with you, sometimes it is you, but there's sometimes where, you know, it's the other person as well, right? It's a 50-50 relationship. So you got to understand that both of you have had reasons why the relationship ended. You know what I mean? It's not always just that one person. There's always other reasons and other people involved. You know what I mean? So you can't always take 100% of the blame for that. I did, but because it really was my fault. Like there's no doubt about it. And that is the thing that makes you feel so guilty, right? When you know it's your fault. If it's amicable, you know what I mean? You both decide that you want to end it and move on, that's fine. But when it's your fault, that's something that's hard to live with. It took me a long time to get over that, you know, and it can be done, right? It may feel like it can't be done, but it can be done. Like there is nothing in this world really that you can't get over. You know what I mean? There were times where I thought about ending my life, and I realized that if I have ever done that, you know what I mean? Certain things that I have now or went through now, I would have never done that. I wouldn't be around here today, you know? And death is final. That is final. Should never be an option. It should never be an option, man. I get it. I personally will never judge anybody for what they're going through or how they handle certain situations. But at the end of the day, you that's not the answer. That's just it's just definite. You know what I mean? It's over with. And life is hard. Nobody ever said life was easy. If life was easy, we would all be rich and happy. But it's not. You know what I mean? There's some people that are gonna make it and there's some people are not. But at the end of the day, you gotta pretty much make the best of your life.
That's
You
why
know
you
what I
don't
mean?
date late in life. Because all those times you date growing up, you broke up. Either they broke your heart, you broke their heart. You should have had some kind of, skill set leading up to the big one.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know that it's not over,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how old you are. Because, when you reach up here, there's
Hey,
limitations. I'm telling you right now.
you are correct, but those limitations go down a lot if you got like money, you know what I mean, or
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
listen, you see, like, you wouldn't sell your soul for a movie. Remember the topic we had?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't sell myself short like that. If a girl wants to get with me because I have money, you better get stepping for I show you some of my
Oh,
martial arts, yo.
100%. But when you 50 and 60, you know what I mean? And
Well, I'm close
I
there,
don't
on,
know.
so I think I could still pull them in, yo. Not to brag and boast, but this is some different toast, yo. You know what I mean? We're a different
Uh,
generation. We ain't your typical 50, 60 anymore. Some of
Yeah,
us
I
50,
feel
60 are making them 30, 40 look like, hey, what
you. Mhm.
happened? Something ain't
Mhm.
right
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
I'm
100%.
telling you, it's a new
Love
thing
is.
going on. But with Anzo, what we're more or less trying to say is a relationship is not worth taking your life over.
oh,
Mhm.
definitely not.
You know?
100%.
Now I'll tell you another side of
100%.
it when you do everything right and it still ends, right?
Mhm.
And you put in years maybe 2-3 years of the relationship, and you doing everything right, and they break your heart or something or leave, and it's like, damn. And
Hmm.
even then, some of you might blame yourself, like, what did I do? It
Of
was them
Oh,
the
course,
whole time.
absolutely.
of
You go in this
course.
depression, and some people change who they are. Like, you know what? If I'm a good guy, and she leaves me for a low down dude, I'm gonna be that low down dude and do it to
Hmm.
somebody else. But then you're hurting yourself because you're lying to who you
And other women are
Absolutely.
gonna miss out on that great guy that just turned now.
are. Exactly.
Hmm. And that's another thing too. There are those times where you do, the best you can do and do everything that right, and it still ends. That happens as well.
And you
But
know what your
again,
friends will tell you? Yo, you were too good, yo. You
Hmm.
hmm
know, women don't like that shit.
hmm
No matter what you do, you hear the other spectrum. You're mean to her, yo. You should have been nicer to her, yo. Women don't like that shit. Basically,
absolutely.
basically, just what I learned, and I didn't learn the first time, is you just become a yes dear guy. When you become a yes dear guy, things change. You get
Hmm.
Facts.
into a lot less fights, sex more often,
Facts.
and some
Facts.
other perks. Some other perks. But if you want to let your ego come in there because you think you're going to be lieutenant of arguing with women, go ahead. You're going to be talking with your hand at the end of the night,
Hmm.
choking your
Hmm.
chicken, yo.
100%.
That's what you're
Poe
going to
sent
be doing.
Poe sent a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Poe.
Respect,
Much
Poe.
appreciated. Always a pleasure to have you in here. And you're absolutely right, Roberto. Because I personally remember, you know, you get into an argument, and I'd be the first one to call you bitch, first one to curse you out. You know what I mean? First one to say this, first one to say that. That shit ain't healthy. I don't care what
No.
no,
anybody else to say. That
no.
shit is not healthy. You know what I mean? So when I argue, I don't argue like that anymore. I just keep my mouth shut. Yeah, okay, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? I rarely will, engage or call names because I've done that and it didn't work. So you always have to do something different. You know what I mean?
Some of those
Always.
words are unrepairable, man.
Oh,
Hmm.
100%. 100%. Now, you may get some women that you're with that you call them a bitch, they don't care. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm
But
talking about the one that comes after the B.
oh
The
yeah,
C
yeah, yeah.
word.
You see, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Because
C word. That's like an
right,
unrepairable word right there.
right, because it doesn't always end with the B word, right? If you
Hmm.
engage, then it usually gets to a point where you say shit that hurts that person, and that person says shit that hurts you, and
I
you're
think
always
yeah,
trying to one up. You know what I
you're right.
mean?
The B is the wick, the C is the explosion.
Hmm.
Right, right. You're always trying to one up,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I've been on the receiving end of that a couple times in my life, and it did not
Oh.
end well. I came out
Yeah,
with the
that
B,
word was
ended with the
like
C. It just did not end
Mhm,
well.
that was
You know
like
what I mean?
breaking case of emergency kind of thing,
I
I
swear.
rarely ever used that one, but when I did, I used it hard, yo.
yeah, right.
Like I
But
emphasized in capitals.
you also know that if you're using it,
It's to
then
hurt.
yeah, right? And you know
That's a
that
knife wound right there.
Hmm.
chances are that relationship is done. You know what I
You know
Oh
mean?
yeah.
that. You
Oh
know
yeah.
that.
Right. And even if it's not done, it'll probably never be the same. You know what I mean? So that's why I say you got to be careful with the things you say, man. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt you. But to some
Oh, they
people, it
got
does.
great memories, boy. When they
Oh,
want them.
damn, Skippy.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Damn, Skippy. You know what I mean? You be wondering why you ain't getting no poom poom. And the reason why
Exactly.
you ain't getting no poom poom is because you said shit that you shouldn't have said. You know what I mean?
Can't remember the grocery list. Can't remember that you asked not to do something, but they remember what you did 6 years ago.
Man.
Facts.
Facts.
Right.
Shit, that
And
shit comes out with a timeline.
and I don't know about you, but usually when you break up with someone or they break up with you, they always remember the bad stuff. Like, right? They
Mm-hmm.
never remember the good stuff in the relationship. It's always the bad stuff. And it gets to the point where I'm like, yo, we did have some good times, right?
Yep.
But the bad times is all they think about. You know what I
Excuse me.
mean? It's all that comes to their mind is, well, you did this and you did that and you said this and you said that. You
Because
know
they
what I
want
mean?
it
Yeah.
over on, so there's another man. Because if they put it on the scale and then they see, oh fuck, he was better to me than he was worse. I can't turn back now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Usually involves
Mm-hmm.
another man when they turn on you like that.
Absolutely. But there are also times where, yeah, the bad can outweigh the good. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
But
sure. But why you with that guy to begin with?
right, exactly. You know what I
You
mean?
know?
And if you had this long-term relationship, then you can't sit there and say you spent like 10 years with somebody and the whole 10 years was bad. That's that just doesn't make sense. Why are you ending up staying in that relationship for then? You should have left 5 years ago, you know? You should have got the fuck out 5 years ago and been like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. But if you stay in 10 years with somebody, or longer, it's because there's some good in that relationship, you
Yep.
Let's
know?
talk about divorcees now, trying to get back in the game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, do you think men carry luggage over behaviors of their exes or like women do?
That's a good
Um,
question.
you know what? I think it depends on how hurt the man is, right? How hurt the man gets, right? Because I don't think we handle hurt as well as women do, as
That's
men.
that's a no-brainer.
You know what I mean? Like
But
a
I'm thinking a
woman
man will only throw it out if some in spite of something a woman did, you know?
Mm.
Like
explain example.
like for instance, you're dating a chick, right?
Hmm.
And she tells you, come over at 7
Hmm.
and you reached there at 7:30 and her man was always late. And she's like, "Oh no. Oh no, I can't go through that
Oh,
again."
oh yeah, absolutely
Oh yeah.
that happens.
You think a man does that? Hell's no.
Oh
She's
no.
coming over at
Mm.
Yeah.
7:30. I'm
Yeah.
still getting some.
Yeah. Like,
That's all the man's thinking
hey,
about.
our
That's what I'm
eyes is
trying to
on the
say.
prize the whole time, bro. We
You know
ready.
what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. That's the difference in the two, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm just hoping no people I don't watch this show and shit. I don't want to call out no names, but scenarios are too similar. People gonna say, "Hey, he's talking about me." Um,
Hmm.
there's a lot of um, single divorced women and men out there. The men that I
Hold on,
know that are
Roberto. What
single,
is that beeping noise? Is that one coming from one of you guys?
not me. I don't have
Uh,
nothing beeping
Oh, it's
here.
probably
You
mine. Let me turn
okay?
it
You
down.
guys are hearing it, right? I just want to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, I think it's mine.
Here's a $5 super chat from Beamicon. Thank you very much. He said
Thank you,
trivia
Beamington.
time for $50. If you do this 10 minutes a day, it helps with depression. What is it? I'm saying masturbate.
Well,
Do what 50 times? If you
I'm
do something
hoping
50 times a day?
I'm hoping you're
No,
reading
no,
under my
no, no.
name. You see what it
Hold on,
says.
I'll
I'm
bring it
hoping
back
that's
up.
10 minutes a day right there.
Trivia time for $50. If you do
If
this
you do
10
this
minutes
10,
a day,
10
it
minutes a
helps
day.
with depression.
Well, like
Your
I said,
thoughts,
a blunt a day
Roberto?
keeps the meds away. Let's
I'm
go.
I'm keeping
That's
this
a
on a
good.
serious note, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm not sure, but I think
You think it's sex?
No, I don't think it's that because that doesn't really help with depression. That's more of passing the time. Um,
I don't know.
I don't know, Bimington. What is it? Let us know what the answer is in the chat. Go ahead, Roberto. Finish what you were saying though.
I don't remember, yo.
You're talking
I
about
won't lie.
divorcees,
Oh yeah,
divorcees.
divorcees, women
Yeah.
versus men.
Hmm.
See, men are always chasing the pum pum, so they don't carry the luggage of characteristic flaws until you start talking relationship, right?
Yeah.
I
I
think
agree.
with a woman, tendencies could kill it way before it comes even close to a relationship. Like, you take out a cigarette. You ask her, what are you looking at? Something along those lines, And flashback. Oh, fuck, that's why I divorced that cocksucker. I don't want to go through that ever again. Me and the girls discussed that. Never again. One, And that guy's gone. He could have had all the boom characteristics to make that the relationship she would have had the rest of her life. But damaged goods. One little thing killed it,
Absolutely, 100%. I agree with you 100%. I think a lot of women will, see certain signs, and when they see certain signs, they'll project that on their new relationship. And when they do that, then you have an issue, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, well, what's up, Tim? How you doing?" They're gonna be like talking about, "Oh, well, this guy's no different than my other relationships and stuff like that." So, yeah, I think women do that a lot, to be honest with you. Yeah, Tim, Guardians tomorrow. I know I got my tickets already. I'm ready to go. I am ready to go.
And it's very
Beaming come
difficult for
didn't
them to
bring the
find man.
answer yet.
Very difficult for them to find men.
I agree.
I'm
Tim.
just telling you with the circle I'm in,
And you know what? I don't think it's difficult for them to find men. I think it's difficult for them to keep a man, right? I think
No,
it's
I'm
difficult.
telling you, honestly, they're single for a while. They see guys. You're right. They don't stay with them long. But that's what I'm saying. You're trying to find a man, right? But because these little episodes, they see a guy for 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, he's gone. Another guy, a week, he's gone. Another guy, 4 months, he's gone. What causes them to be gone? Is there some kind of damage from their previous relationships causing these to not work out?
Well, you see, I'll say it's possible too, but I'll also say because
Percentage?
I'm not gonna blame all the women because we men too. You know what I mean? We may not come
We do
correct
some
all
stupid
the
shit.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think when you get older, your tolerance for bullshit goes way down. You know
You're
what I
telling
mean?
me?
Because when we were younger, right, you would tolerate a lot of bullshit for some boom boom. You know what
I
I
was a
mean?
Yeah.
juggler.
Right?
No, fuck that.
Said the answer is talking to a family member on the phone. I agree with you 100%. 100%. You know,
You're right. What if you don't have a family member?
that's an issue. Well, friend, then, you know what I mean?
But that's the whole thing. We're talking about finding a friend that will actually be there, not just, even make
Lip
jokes out of,
service.
come on, yo, come on, yo.
Lip
Come
service.
on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Are you
Hmm,
serious,
hmm,
Anzo? You're in depression? Come on, man.
hmm.
You ain't one of them. You ain't one of them people,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Bro, man, you got so much things to live for. What the fuck you thinking about? Just go out there and do certain things, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get over that
Xbox
shit.
5, what wrong with you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Get over that shit, bro. Yeah, man. Man don't act that way. Man don't do them things, you know? So, but yeah, so like I was saying, I think that we do some stupid shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like you said, when you get older, the toleration for bullshit, it's like I see this sign and it may not even be a projection of an older relationship, but because you went through that in a relationship and there's a possibility that you have to go through that again, it's like, nah, I ain't doing that.
But put it,
Pussy ain't that good.
my argument was, as you get older, you put yourself out there less. If you're still putting yourself out there, that leads to question.
Um, I think it depends because
Because
I,
you're putting yourself out there. That's why you're making that defense. You think I don't know you?
no, 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 no. I say that because nobody wants to die alone.
No, it's not. No, I didn't say. When I say put yourself out there, I mean clubbing and shit.
Oh, 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 oh.
Like
Well,
if you're
I
in a
mean,
relationship and you're still clubbing,
well, unless you're
I don't
clubbing
know.
with unless you're clubbing with your girl.
Yeah, but there's, I have some friends of mine. Every Friday night they gotta go with the boys.
Yeah, I
What do
don't
you
do
think?
that.
What do you think? They're going and playing cards.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You
I
know
don't
what I
do that.
mean?
Don't do that.
If you put
I-
yourself out there, chances are something will happen. If you don't, it won't.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Okay. So if you're talking about people looking for relationships, then you got to put
Yeah, I'm just
yourself
giving
out
you
there, right?
the other's
Yeah, yeah,
perspective,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, 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 absolutely. If you clubbing all the time and you got a woman at home, that's a problem.
And vice versa, right?
mhm.
Your
Yeah.
Right?
girl
Yeah, that's
always
a
wants to
problem.
go out.
Yeah, that's a problem. 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, if that's the case, go out together. If you guys going out together, if the both of you are club rats and like to go and party
Yeah,
every
go ahead.
weekend and you're together,
That's what
that's
makes you
fine.
guys happy. Swing it, yo.
Right. 100%. But now, if you going out by yourself, mm-mm, you know, and sometimes you may not even be doing anything, but you may come home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Because you know after the club, you are going to go get food, right? So
Mhm.
sometimes you may be sitting up in the restaurant, eating, talking, and shit.
Or
Doesn't
you're
matter,
lifted and want to leave.
right? And it doesn't matter what time it is at that point. Like you come home, no matter what you're doing. I'm saying you still gonna have to question to why the fuck you come in at 6 o'clock in the morning.
You know what I mean?
And even if you out there eating and you say you out there eating, that's still gonna be questioned. Like, oh, you were out there eating till 6 o'clock in the morning? What why you out at 6 o'clock? Why you out at 6 o'clock in the morning when you have someone at home anyways?
And then why do you feel the need to be out all that without your significant other anyway?
Yeah, absolutely. No, listen, I get it. There are times where you will go out with your boys.
Oh yeah.
100%. Link up with your boys or whatever. But like Roberto said, if you doing that shit every fucking weekend, that's
Something's
a
up.
problem. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's either one or two things. Like Roberto said, you putting yourself out there, you're looking for something else, or you don't like being at home.
Mm.
Yeah, you need to escape.
You need to escape. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that, oh, I just need to get out. I can't do it anymore. I gotta get out. Can't wait for the weekend so I can go and hang out with my boys and shit.
Yeah.
When you get to a when you get to
I,
a certain age, I don't
Mhm.
want to hang out with my boys every fucking day. You know what I mean? I did
that's
that shit
gonna
when
get
we were
played out.
younger.
That's gonna get played out.
Yeah, we did that shit when we were younger, bro. You know what I mean? Young little fucking snot nosed kids running around there, with your boys
Exactly.
hanging, going parties. You do that, but when you get and I say this, and I've said this, I even posted on Facebook. I'm like, if you over 30 and you partying every fucking weekend and you got kids, you need to check yourself.
Mm.
You need to check yourself. 100%. You can't do that every weekend, bro. That's ridiculous. You know what I
You
mean?
know. You know.
Yeah, you
That's why you
can't do
should
that
have
every
kids
weekend.
young. Have your fun, then have your kids.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And you know what? Even if you have your kids young, if you have you know, like you, Roberto, like me, you know, we had our parents, you know what I mean, to babysit and stuff like that, right?
I had my daughter in my when I was 30, 32.
Yeah, okay. Wait, 32,
Yeah,
but your daughter,
I partied a lot.
but your wife was pregnant the same time as my son's mother.
Okay,
I
so
was I was
I was
25,
32. Well, how old are you now?
48.
And I'm
You that much
57.
older than me? Shit.
That's right,
Okay.
son. So when you're talking old, just add a when you're referring to me.
Like,
You know what I'm
I'm thinking there's like a
saying?
5 year difference or something
No,
like that.
no. You are
No.
my younger brother's age. Not to take away anything. You're still old, Anzo. Don't think you're
Oh, I
young.
know that. Yeah, I know
But
that. They don't have to tell me
I'm
that.
just older, and I'm trying to
Yeah, I know.
say I'm of a different generation, right? When
Hmm.
we were
Mm.
wearing our my Adidas, our shell toes and shit. I was saying, yo, when I'm in my 60s, 70s, if I'm still gonna bust a shell toe. I mean, they're not in style anymore, but what I meant to say is I'm not changing. I'm not
Yeah, me
fucking
Mm.
too.
putting on loafers and fucking
Yeah, me
spandex
too.
pants and shit.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me
Nah,
too.
Dread, that shit ain't happening. And someone tells
Me
me
too.
dress my age, I tell them just fucking get a life, man, and move
Yeah,
on with your
absolutely.
business.
Stop worrying about the way I'm dressing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
when we need to dress, we do. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
going
I don't
somewhere
like
we need to
dressing
dress,
up,
we
yo.
do.
I
I,
don't like
I'm
it.
I didn't, but I do. I do. I like it.
I did it. I did it too much to the point where I don't like doing it. If I got to do it for a wedding, boom, yes. An event, boom, yes. But other than that,
Yeah.
nah.
Oh, absolutely. Like when we had to dress up to go to work, I fucking hated that. I hated that. I never understood that fucking logic. And they say, oh, you work better if you dress. That's bullshit.
That's just control, yo. That's
That is
pure control.
bullshit. The way you work and how hard you work has nothing to do with the way you fucking dress. It's how
Maybe if I
you
wore
are.
shitty clothes, I'd work harder to buy better clothes. Now I have good clothes. What I got to work for?
Facts.
You know?
Yeah, dating is hard. All the social media stuff, everyone's trying to be influenced. Girls doing thirst traps or OnlyFans. Yeah, but
Doing
you see,
what? Well,
again,
hold on. What?
thirst traps,
What the fuck is that?
like posting bikini
You
pics
remember I'm
and stuff
old,
like
huh?
that. Yeah, like
Thirst
posting.
trap? That's what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
Yep.
Thirst trap.
Yep.
yeah, posting like
Who
bikini
comes
pics
up
and
with this
stuff like
shit? I'm
that.
curious.
I have no idea, bro.
Some
These
guy
things just
slurping
pop up
on
every now
the.
and then.
Wow.
But I agree with you 100%. But it's also, again, it's it's the type of woman as well, right? You don't
Mm.
want you don't want one of them women that's gonna thirst trap on IG and social media. You can find plenty of women on there that don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? But you follow, and I'm gonna bring it up like this Man of Fear, like Fresh and Fit, and all these guys. And if
Mhm.
you follow them and listen to those clowns, you think that those are the only women that are out there, and it's absolutely false 100%. It's a fake fucking narrative that they try to throw at you guys, and I am sorry, but if you listen to Fresh and Fits or those guys, you are never going to get poom poom. I don't understand how people these guys have almost a million subs, right? It's because they do podcasts and they bring these girls on and they
Yeah.
trash the girls or whatever. Some of them are hot and stuff like that. But how do you take advice from a man who comes on stream and tells you that he's only had one serious relationship? How do you follow anybody like that? You
What does that
can't,
tell you?
because this dude don't know shit. All right. And he's probably, I know he's over like 35 or something like that. You know what I mean? And you've had one fucking relationship in your life, and you're going to sit there and try to teach men how to have relationships?
How
Come
does that
on
make
now.
sense?
It doesn't. It does not. It does not.
Did he go
You
to
know what I
school?
mean? Actually used to be an FBI agent.
No, I'm wondering,
What?
like,
So,
did he take sex ed or
I did
yeah,
not
something?
know
Like,
that.
I have no idea. Yeah.
because usually you want someone who has certification or experience. You have to have one of those two credentials. If you don't have
Mhm.
either of those two, why the fuck should I believe anything you're saying?
Facts,
Well, I think
100%.
you look at the era now, which is, part of my French, fuck all the hoes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Screw
yeah,
all the
yeah.
women. There's no good women in the world, and
Hmm,
people
hmm.
flock to their channel. If you look at the comments, yeah, fuck these women. Their women are no good. Just
Yeah, yeah,
use them,
yeah, yeah,
smash them, and move on. That's their whole thing, and that's the
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
demographic, and they're
Well,
playing off of it.
right. And Beamington said, "Well, I can't even find one." R.I.P. So here's the thing, and I'll ask you: are you looking? Are you putting yourself out there? Right? Are you talking? You know what I mean? Because it's not just gonna fall in your lap. You gotta get out there and you gotta work. It may take you fucking years, but sooner or later, you gotta find one.
Hmm.
You gotta
My
find one.
advice would
Simple.
be don't look, because if you look and it doesn't happen in your time frame, you're going to start questioning yourself. I suggest you fix yourself.
Facts.
The glow that you will let off while you're fixing yourself, you will attract the person for you and you'll be
Agree.
good with that person. I'm not
I agree.
saying Anzo is wrong, but you need to fix yourself, because it's like trying to get a girl pregnant.
Mm.
Mhm.
A month, 2 months go by, you start going to the doctor to see who's dry, who's the one who's causing this, all kinds of shit. If you just go about it and do it, it happens.
Mhm. But you see, Roberto was right, 100%. You got to fix yourself. First off, let me say thank you for the $3 super sticker, K-Dot. Much appreciated.
K-Dot in
100%.
the house.
So 100%, you got to fix yourself. 100%. But you still got to put yourself out there. You can't sit at home every night and
You're
think
right.
you're gonna find something. You know what I mean? You got
Unless
to
it's a
go
girl
out.
at work.
Right. And even I'll say this: the best place to practice is with a chick you work with. That's the best
Facts.
place to get
Facts.
practice, right? Because you just need to talk to them. Like, let's say you're not even interested in a relationship, but you have conversations with them. You'll learn how to talk to women. That's the thing, right? You got to learn how to talk to women. You got to learn how to be charming. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, especially these guys on those manosphere, they like to tell you you got to make a certain amount of money or you got to look a certain way. And that, again, is not true. It helps, but those aren't the type of women you want, right? You want someone that's going to see you for you, not for your money or not even the way you look. Like, yeah, there's going to be attraction, 100%. You know, she has to be attracted to you, of course, in some sort of way, but it's not always physical attraction. You know what I mean? She could love the way you talk to her. She could love the things you do. You know what I mean? You come in the morning, how you doing? You know, the first thing you do is say hi to her or something like that, right? So there's always different methods of way, but you have to learn to talk. And like I said, work is the best practice. Someone you work with is the best practice, right? And then once you get confident, then you'll be able to go out and have conversations with strangers, right? Because you'll know how to talk to a woman, right?
You remember that old saying, conversation rules a nation?
Mm-hmm.
You ever walk around see these guys with these girls like, how the hell did they get that girl? Right?
100%.
Same job you got, same income you got. You look better than that guy. How did they get? Because they can work that mouth game, man. They can have a
Facts.
conversation. They can talk to her,
Facts.
and it
Facts.
just does everything.
100%. And to your point, exactly that. I remember I was working at a spot, right? And this guy, he used to work there before me. He was there. You know, I'd say what's up to him, talk to him every now and then. So one day I go to work, and there's this light skinned chick in the back. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is that? Girl is hot, right? One of my coworkers is beside me, like me and him would talk all the time. He was like, oh, that's his girl. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, that's his girl. I'm like, how the fuck did you get her? You know what I mean? And supposedly the story was she had a man and the man wasn't treating her right. And he stepped in and treated her right. And they've been together ever since. So again, it's not always about the way you look. It's about how you can make them feel, right? So if you know how to
And
talk to a woman,
opportunity.
oh, an opportunity too, especially. Yeah, sometimes you in the right spot at the right
You
time.
see a girl
Yeah.
shedding a tear, get in there.
Yeah,
What?
Get
yes,
in there. Go see what's
yes.
$100,
wrong.
100, 100,
Oh
100.
shit.
You know, it's just the way of life, man. So I know there's a lot of dudes out there, you know, who maybe discouraged, right? Don't want to really put themselves out there because they're scared of rejection. I used to be petrified of
Hmm.
rejection. I never took the rejection well. Now, right? That's one thing we have to understand. Sometimes when we get rejected, it's not always personal. You know what I mean? And a lot of us take it personal when we get rejected. But you have to be able to take rejection and move on because it's a numbers game. It's just that simple. Me and Roberto, we've done telemarketing all our lives. We know it's a numbers game. The
Yeah,
more people you talk to, you have a chance of hitting that one.
Hmm.
that's right.
You know, you just got to keep on trying. Tim said, yeah, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Absolutely, 100%. You know what I mean? Got to do things that you're interested in. You know what I mean? And then you'll find like-minded people there, right? Because there's always some kind of female that likes to do the things that you do, all
Mhm.
right? So you just gotta find it. You just gotta put yourself out there, man. Because I tell you, when I listen to these Manosphere guys, they drive me up a fucking wall, Roberto. They really do drive me up a wall. Nzo Samuels on the mic. What up, Perp? No, I ain't trying to be that, right? Because I think even though a lot of the things Kevin Samuels talked about um was on point, his delivery was kind of messed up. And I understand why he did the way he did it is because it got the likes, it got the views, you know what I mean? It was making him money. But when he went on Vlad TV
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking, I got more of a respect for him on that platform because I could see where he was trying to go, what he was trying to do, right? But everybody trying to be copycat of 7-7. Absolutely. And the problem with that, though, Perp, is that they're stirring young men the wrong way. They are fresh and fit in those guys. They're steering these dudes the wrong way. And I don't know if you were here earlier, but I said, how can people follow this guy, right? First off, one of the dudes, fresh, um, this guy capped. This guy capping, right? He talked about he slept with over 1,000 women in his life. I'm like, okay, so hold on. Let's break this down a bit, okay? Do you know how much 1,000 women is? You're going to tell me that you were able to keep count of every single fucking
Mm-hmm.
woman that you slept with to know that it was 1,000? You are full of shit. I can promise you. Unless you writing it down, every fucking woman that you slept with, by the time you hit 100, you've lost count. Guaranteed. Because 100 is a lot. Now you can talk about 1,000? The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Bro, I was dying when he said that. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? So one, this guy's capping, but people follow him. Two, Myron fucking Gaines, like I said earlier, hasn't has had only one relationship, and the relationship wasn't even long. It was less than a year. And these are the fucking clowns that are running out there trying to teach men how to fucking be with women. It is so dumb, bro.
So where we live in, dog.
Fresh also said rape culture is a myth. Yeah, I know. I know. And then they blame the woman, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you picked the guy. Why did you do that? Why didn't you run? Why didn't you do that? I'm like, bro, like, listen, they like to throw out a lot of statistics, right? And they like to try and use it to their advantage. The problem is that they twist the statistics, and there's one they always use, and everybody in the manosphere uses this one, and it's um, women are like 80% of women always apply for divorce, right? That may be the case, but why are they doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a woman who is getting abused, do you expect this woman to stay in that relationship forever? No, she's gonna file for divorce. Some women don't want a fucking man who's a cheater. So they find out their man's a cheater. What are they gonna do? Stay in a relationship? No, they're gonna bounce. Right? So to sit there and use that as an excuse, right, to trash on women is bullshit. And that's what they do. They fucking twist the words, they twist everything to their narrative, and that is not the narrative. I have never had half of the fucking problems that these guys have talked about. And I've had my share. You know what I mean? Roberto has his share.
I wish I could say I listen to these guys and agree with you. I have no clue, dog.
Yeah, you
Look, I
don't want to
stopped listening
listen
to
to
them a
him, bro.
long time ago
Hmm.
because they got outrageous. And
Me
then if a
too.
if a woman says something back to them, okay, you got to go. They start kicking them out and stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. 100%. But these are the clowns. that have almost 1 million subs. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, I think we've done much more things to be in a positive light than they have ever done. But yet,
I
they
told you
got
we're
fucking
real. Real isn't interesting anymore.
nope. They like the drama. You know what I
Yep.
mean? They like all that bullshit,
Fake
and it's
news.
100%. It's fucking ridiculous.
So
You
let
know.
me ask you: were we dealing with depression because of breakups and death? I couldn't figure it out. We were trying to figure it out in the beginning.
Well, I
What's the
think.
topic?
Well, no. It was just dealing with depression slash breakup slash death. All
Okay,
one thing. Yeah, not. Hold on. Let me see what Beamer said. I'm just afraid of being single, to be honest. Um,
why?
I can. Well, for one, I can understand that.
Being single
But
is fun. It has its moments. If you're doing things that you've always wanted to do, that you felt you were not necessarily held back but kind of tied down,
Hmm.
it's fun. It's when you have nothing to do and you're sitting there with time on your hands. Being single is horrible
I agree.
because,
I agree.
no one wants to be alone. But if you're so preoccupied in life, you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
You see, I can. Well, JG, go ahead. You haven't said anything in a minute.
Uh, shit, I forgot what I was about to say. um, shit. Yeah, like it. And you're right. Being single is fun, but it's nothing like come home to somebody that's gonna have your back, gonna
Yeah, yeah,
suffer with you, gonna
100%.
laugh with you, cry with you. You can tell your problems to them. They're right with you. Like, yeah, baby, I understand. We're gonna work through this together. Yeah, it's being in a relationship can result in breakups. You can be alone, but I
Fun
rather
isn't forever.
exact. But I rather try to go
Mhm.
through that journey than not go through it at all.
Oh, 100%. You see, you have to experience everything in life. You have to experience the single part of life. You have to experience the
Makes you
relationship
stronger.
part of life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, it's always great to have certain type of experience. But like JG said, I'm like you. I was like, it's always better to come home to somebody or not. But I'm not sure how old you are, Beaming Kun. But if you're not like our age, then you have time, right? When you in your
Wait, hold on.
20s.
JG's young too, man.
I'm 39,
Isn't he? Oh,
39
39.
going on
You're
60.
I hear you, dog. I hear you.
But yeah, so even in your early 30s, I think you could still go out there and have some fun at that age too, right? So
I was.
experience all of that. What's up, man? Chilling out, doing
What
good.
up, Basco?
Um, so I was out there having fun when I was 30, and you know what I mean.
Hmm.
But again, at one point, you have to learn. It's time to slow down. You know, move on with your life, but you have to have fun, right? You have to experience things in your life. Like me personally, I'll go out every now and then. But when I was in my 30s, I'm sure Roberto did too. Like we were going out like almost every weekend.
I was out every night.
You see what I'm saying?
There was somewhere to
And
go every night.
and we had women,
Hmm.
right? So now put two and two together. You know, I don't have that one anymore, right? The one I had is gone, and Roberto almost lost it, right? He got her back. He got his wife back. So think about that,
Hold
all
on,
right?
she got me back. Sorry, that was my ego. Sorry, sorry.
She got Roberto back. Either way, you know what I mean? Because we were going out too much, right? We
Mm.
weren't spending enough time with them. You know what I mean? It was always like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my boys, hang out with my boys, let's go out and do this, go out and do this.
Me, I
Now,
was kind of the opposite on, so I got comfortable. And a lot of
that
men
too.
do that too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They get
Absolutely.
comfortable and they stop doing the things that they did with their
One
woman to
hundred
get
percent.
their woman, you
One
know?
hundred percent.
And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't even recognize yourself. You turn into a
100%.
lump. And
One
that's what
hundred percent.
happened to me to get me and her drifted apart. And that's when I said, I don't like that guy.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Roberto brings up a great topic as well, too, right? being comfortable.
Yes,
That
a
is a
lot of men
big
get comfortable.
that is a big thing,
It
right?
is.
Because you remember when you courting your woman, you taking
You
her
do
out,
everything.
you saying all the right things.
Opening the door.
Exactly.
After 2 years,
Shit.
it's like, yeah, babe, I'm coming over. Oh, not tonight, baby. I'm tired. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You know what I mean? You on the phone constantly in the beginning. After 2 years, what's up? Good. Whenever. Bye bye. All right.
Yeah,
Talk to you
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Peace.
yeah, yeah.
That's the conversations.
But at the same time, when you used to hold the door open for her in the beginning, she'd be like, "Oh, thank you, you're so sweet, you're a gentleman."
Mhm.
You do it 2 years later, you hear crickets. Yeah, what? I
Yeah,
work
yeah,
for you?
yeah, yeah.
You can't even
Right.
say thank you. What the
Right.
Like,
fuck?
Because
like you know
the
what you're
com-
supposed to do. You know you're supposed. I don't have to tell you anything.
You know what I
You know what I
mean?
mean?
So it's like
Mhm.
Gonzo said, it's a
Yes.
two-way street.
Yep.
Yes. The comfortability goes both ways. 100%. You know what I
You want to
mean?
feel
But
appreciated as much as you want to feel loved.
absolutely. But I think I don't know, and I can't really say it's more the men, but in my opinion, it's more of us that get more comfortable, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because we're the ones that have to do the courting. You know what I mean? We're the ones, and then once you get what you were trying to get, it's okay. I got to know. I can do whatever I want to. You know what I mean? Stop doing this. Stop doing that.
I don't need
Right?
to
And
train anymore. I don't need to do this anymore, and I don't need to do that. I have her.
and you may think it's not a big deal,
It's
but it
big.
is.
It's
One
large.
hundred percent.
Hmm.
One
This is
hundred
a
percent, it's a
time
big
thing.
deal.
This is a
Mm-hmm.
time thing because if you're doing it for years, that's years. She's looking at you, going, "Look at him! Look at him!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at
That's
him! That piece of
right.
shit!"
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
I can't
Because you know what
understand why they
happened?
hate you so
Right.
much. It's
Right.
years.
Right. Because you know what happened? It's like this motherfucker stopped doing those things, and now look at him. He's just sitting on the fucking couch doing nothing. Like, what the fuck did I ever see in this guy? Right? They
You
don't
know,
remember the good shit. They just see you sitting on the couch watching a basketball game, eating
because
some
it's back
chips
to
or
back.
some shit. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But
Right.
at the
And
same token, she's not doing the shit she used to do in the beginning of the relationship.
that's true too.
You know what I mean?
But I
So
think, and again, I think we start doing it though. I think we start first.
oh,
I
that's
think
fair.
it's us.
If
I
we don't
think it's us.
initiate, the shit usually doesn't happen.
Right. And
That's
I
fair.
think it's yeah, I think it's us that suffers. And then at the point where well, they ain't doing what they used to do, so why am I doing it, right? And then you
Hmm.
get to the point where you're just having a fucking relationship with someone just to have a relationship, you know?
Because if it's the other way around, JG, I'm sure at some point the guy's gonna say, "Yo, what the fuck? I ain't special anymore.
That's
You
true.
used to
Mm-hmm.
do this for me. You used to do that for me. Now you don't do shit anymore. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
tired of your shit." Oh, okay, the truth comes out now.
Yeah. And
You
all of a
know?
sudden, the argument happens. The B and C words start coming out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
and
do.
Mm-hmm.
it's over.
100%.
I wonder if you
100.
know. A lot of times, Anzo, JG, I used to think, did she fucking pre-write this shit because she knows how I act? Like she knows if she says this is my trigger.
Yes!
The
Yes,
women are
they
smart,
know.
bro. They are
Yes.
cerebral. They know every
Not
trick
only they
we
smart,
have.
conniving.
Oh my
Yes.
god, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I believe 100%. Especially
they'll never
when they
admit it.
heated. No, no, when they heated, right? And you having that heated argument, and it's getting to a point where maybe you ain't listening. Yeah, they're gonna say that triggering thing. 100%. I think
Hmm.
they're quick to go to the triggering thing than we are, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to the triggering thing, and then oh yeah, bitch. All right, well, blah blah blah. And then we stupid asses start to say our triggering shit,
Yep.
Yep.
and it
The wick
doesn't.
ain't long. They know how to light
It
that wick, yo.
and
Because
it
But
like
see,
never
I
when
works
they
said,
out
hit the
for us.
trigger, it's more so I'm trying to get your attention. When we hit the trigger, all of a sudden, oh, you go, I'm out. I'm out. My
Right?
friend told
It
me,
never
my
works
sister
out
told
for
me, my
us.
mama told me about you. It's, you know what I mean? And it's
It
all
never
hell.
works out for us. It never
Nope.
works out for us. And
nothing
I
will
am
get a
sorry.
man more mad than a woman.
And
Facts.
like you said
100%.
Not
earlier,
a
Roberto,
thing.
a lot of times just saying yes, dear, solves everything.
You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you might get in the raw end of some deals, but if you don't know about it, it hurts a lot less.
Absolutely. You know that, and the thing is, there's always give and take. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's always going to be a give and take. So you may have to do some shit that you don't want to do, but if you know it's going to keep it going, keep the relationship good, then you got to do that. And I think that, if your wife or your significant other feels the same way, then she's gonna do the same thing. You know what I mean? That's the only way to keep these relationships going. You gotta keep them fresh. You know what I mean? Do what you used to do in the beginning. You don't have to do it all the time. You know what I
Once in
mean?
a while.
But yeah, but at least show that there's still shit there. Because if you don't,
Keep it fun.
100%, 100%. You gotta keep it fun. You know, I don't know. Roberto be going on vacation with his woman, his wife. You know what I mean? I be going like hanging out, chilling, and because you got to do those things, man. You got
Hmm.
to do them things. You know what I mean? You can't just sit in the house and you know do nothing every day.
Like, cause there's plenty of couples activities out there, man. Just salsa dancing. You go to these lovers rocks parties if
Hmm.
you want to. You can
Hmm.
cooking classes. You know what I mean? Just a whole bunch of shit
Hmm.
you can do as a couple.
Absolutely. Even cooking together is like, you know what I
Hell yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
shows he's doing something. You know what I mean? It's always some little things, man. And to be honest with you, you know, sometimes just fucking doing the dishes. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've had so many conversations on washing dishes alone. Dude, it's crazy.
I'm better than
Hell,
do the
have
dishes.
cooking
You do the
competitions
dishes?
with your significant other.
You
Like
know what
me
I
and mom,
mean?
we did
Oh,
like a who can cook the best fish. She cooked fish on one side, I'm on the other side cooking
fact.
fish. Of course, I won, but but it's just keeping the spark going. I remember the movie Love
Absolutely.
Jones when he says, when two
Hmm.
people say that the love's gone, no, what they really means is that they exhausted the possibility.
Facts.
But once you exhaust that possibility, it's over. You got to keep it
Facts.
going.
100%. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And you see, we're talking about, dealing with depression, breakup, death, all this stuff, even with death, like all this stuff leads to depression pretty much. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's why I understand why Roberto was like, oh, that, yeah. No, no, death is another thing that can
Yes.
really fucking lead you to a depression, bro. And that is one of the hardest things I think to deal with. I don't know, you guys' extent to your experience of it, but I think I like you know what I mean?
I can
And
say not to your extent.
right, like you've experienced it, of course, obviously,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Grandma and stuff like that. But again, I lost my mom and my dad. You know what I mean? And I have a friend. You see, so these guys, if you haven't lost your parents, you don't know what that feels like, right? And it's bad. But I have a friend who lost a son, and I can never, ever, 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 ever understand or know what he went through unless it happens to me. You know what I mean? I can think I know, but
I don't even want to
you
talk about that.
you don't have that experience.
Yeah,
Um.
I know me. I lost two brothers when I was 13, 14 years old, I believe, 8 months apart from each other.
Hmm.
Seeing my parents go through that. My mom's going through medical situation right now, right? And it can get depressing
Hmm.
because especially when you're younger, you think you're immortal, or you got a lot of
Hmm.
time. That you get older, you see people
Hmm.
you grew up with or grew up around. That invincible person you once knew is mortal now, right? You're seeing that they are starting to dwindle with age, and
Hmm.
nobody, especially if you love them, you don't want to see them gone. Even though a lot
Facts.
of times it's best for them to go,
Hmm.
so they have to go through the suffering. It's just the
Hmm.
fact that you're without them physically
Hmm.
can
Which
cause
makes
a bit
us
of
a
depression.
little bit selfish, right?
Yeah.
Because we see that they suffering, but we don't want them to go, want them to stay, right? And we're being the ones being selfish. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And um, yeah, it's not easy. Like it's not easy, but you have to have again. It comes again. You have to have friends. You know what I mean? Maybe other family members and stuff like that to pull you through because it's been shit 20 years and I still, you know, heart breaks when I think about certain things. You know what I mean? But I think my case is more because they died so young. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I
yeah.
think it would still hurt if my parents lived to like 80 or 90, but at that point, I kind of understand. You know what I mean? You probably even lived your life and enjoyed your life. Not only that, you actually got to really watch my son, your grandson, grow up. My parents didn't get that opportunity. You know what I mean? My dad was three. I mean, he was three when my dad died. and he was 6 when my mom died, 6, 7 when my mom died, right? So they didn't get that opportunity to see how he grew up or how he is now. So I think that maybe if they had passed away later on in life, it would still hurt, but maybe not as much as it did when like 63, man. Like, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a messed up thing, but you know, it's something we're all going to experience, you know, in your life. And that's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to talk about it, because I know that there may be some people who might be, you know, experiencing something like that. And you just gotta keep your head up. And, you know, I always wanted to make them proud. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That was my thing, you know. I always said, I hope you guys are proud of the way I turned out. Because at one point, when they were alive, they probably thought, yeah, this kid's a lost cause. He's done. You know what I mean? I don't I've tried everything we could do. I don't know what else we can do anymore. You know what I mean? So they pretty much just washed their hands and let me do the things that I needed to do, right? And as I got older, I always was like, well, I hope that they are proud of me because I've tried to do everything I can to honor their presence.
Hmm.
They should be
You know,
proud of you. So I think they would be.
yeah, I would hope so. I'm getting a text. He was like, I wasn't 3, I was 5. So hold on, since you're watching, kid, you were 3 when dad died, and mom died 3 years later. So you were 6, which is the age I did say, right? I said 6.
I think he did.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I got it right. I know. I went through the shit, bro. You were still young. You didn't go through. I mean, you were there, but I'm sure you barely remember. I remember fucking everything. And like 8. No, hold
They're
on.
going at it.
No, actually, yeah, you right. You right. You right. He's right. Because it was 2004. So yeah, when my dad died. So yeah, he was 5 and 8. 3 years later, 8 when my mom died. He is correct. He is correct. Thanks for correcting me, though. Good to see you watching. Good to see you
Nice.
watching. But yeah, he is correct. You know, so I know we had a lot of other topics to talk about tonight, but because I was a little bit late, we didn't get to them, but we will get to them later on. But I know I had something I wanted to. Oh, JG,
Yo.
the thing that JG sent me. I gotta say
Dude, when
this.
I listened to that, I thought about you both of you guys when I
I
saw
was
that.
I was dying. I was like, okay, wait, hold on, what's going on here? But I was dying when it happened. So
I
Roberto,
thought about your Roberto when I saw that. I was like, yeah, here it goes.
you gotta check this out, Roberto. All right, it's called the slamming door prank, right? But it's only really like one. So he told me you start at 21 seconds. So check this out.
Yeah.
Slamming car door prank on my boyfriend.
Let's go. You got everything?
No, I don't. I gotta get my Starbucks.
What? Every time with you. Whoa! Nah.
Yeah, I'm good.
You got everything? Let's go.
Yeah, I got it. No, I'm gonna go get. Do you need anything?
Bro, you good?
Oh shit, my charger.
Bro, we got 2 chargers right here. What do you mean?
No, I want my charger. I'll be right back.
Bro. Yo, if that blood clot girl slam the door one more time, you gotta slam the door. Slamming the door like,
She pulled the Jamaican out of him, yo.
You know,
like, what's up with you?
you know, I was dying.
Why?
I was dying.
What do you mean?
Dude,
No,
I was
my
thinking,
charger. I'll be right back.
Bro,
as we were talking about relationships,
yo,
that when
if
you
that
guys had
blood clot
argued,
girl slam
that
the
you guys
door one
bust
more
out with the
time,
Jamaican.
And then she opened the door and he lost the accent right away.
Yeah, you
Why
know
did
what I mean? I personally wasn't expecting that, so when I seen it, I was like, "Yo, that shit had me dying." And
Thanks,
I
JG.
said,
Thanks.
"Boom,
Oh, man.
It's this
slam
blood
the
clot
door one
gal.
more time.
A good way to lighten it up a little bit.
Absolutely, 100%. So now that we here and we about to close up, you know what I mean? It's a shorter show, but we'll be back next week. I definitely have a rant that I need to go on. So, uh, so today I went to go see Return of the Jedi. Right, went to the theater with my son to see it. First time seeing it in theater, so it was good that he got to see it. Right. So when I got there, I went to go buy the tickets, and I'm looking at the seating arrangement. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a lot of people here. What you tell me? And we're like, nah, there's not that much people there. So we went in there, and it was packed. Like it was packed. I could not believe that there were so much people in there watching Return of the Jedi. But not only were they watching Return of the Jedi, these people were acting like they have never seen this movie before. They cheered at the beginning, right? There's a few of them that did, you know. Um, they cheered at the beginning. They laughed at the jokes, and there was a cheer at the end. So I'm sitting there watching this movie, and I'm like, fuck Kathleen Kennedy, because this is what people want to see. They want to see Han. They want to see Leia. They want to see these things. And you pretty much told us that Luke is a cobweb character and he can only be in cameos. You ruined fucking Star Wars. I am sorry, because I could not believe that it was packed. It was the last day. It was 7 o'clock on a Thursday. It was the last day, right? Tomorrow is playing, but it's like at noon is the last showing. But people were enjoying themselves. And I can promise you that they would not have been that many people if they had brought out the sequel trilogy. Nobody would have went and seen that. But the people that were there were original Star Wars fans, and they enjoyed the movie. Like, I'm pretty sure every fucking buddy that was in that theater seen this movie before. I'm 100% sure there's not one person in that theater that did not see Return of the Jedi. And they laughed like they seen it the first time. You know what I mean? That's what Star Wars is. That's what it's always been. Generational. Bring your kids over there and let them grow up on Star Wars. But instead, we got this bullshit Rey crap. And then they want to continue Rey's story and pretty much make it like Luke was the fucking failure. Fuck this bullshit. I am so mad that George Lucas sold to these guys. And at the end of the day, I really and truly hope that they get their Star Wars stuff together, man. I really hope they get that together, because it could have been so much better than what they've given us. And just seeing the amount of people that were there at the Return of the Jedi just shows me that this is what people want, not what they're giving us. They want this stuff. They wanted this stuff. They wanted Han. They wanted Luke. They wanted Leia. But then we got garbage. So that's my rant. Fuck Kathleen Kennedy. I really hope they get their shit on track, because I seen what Star Wars could have been instead of what it is. So that's all I wanted to say on that, man. To be honest with you,
it's
fucking right, 100%. So, with that being said, we are going to close it up. But I did have something else that I wanted to show. I just gotta find this video file real quick, because I remember I was like, yo, I gotta show this to Roberto.
I seen another song for that girl, huh?
Yeah, because they a lot of people are taking the acapella and were putting their own beats to it.
No, I mean,
okay.
about another song that she's singing.
Oh yeah.
Song.
Yeah. No, I follow her on Instagram.
Okay.
I got all of that shit. Oh, this is what it was. All right, guys. I know this may seem mean, but I found this on I think it was Twitter, and I was dying. I was dying. And since I went to go see Star Wars, I'm gonna bring this up.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB, and I
I'm
also
sorry.
bartend.
Oh,
That is
man.
wrong. That is so wrong. That is wrong.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB, and I also bartend.
Oh my God.
I am sorry. Whoever put that together,
It's PK
you were
Subban.
going to have people going to hell. 'Cause
Yes.
that shit had me dying.
Did you see
when
the
I
latest
seen
shit,
that.
Anzo?
Which one?
You remember PK Subban, our local hero, hockey hero?
Yeah.
He made some comment about some big black girl, and now they're all over social media. They're going after him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's first of all, he's not a comedian, so he shouldn't even be trying that shit.
Right.
And you're
You
never
have to
too
be careful
big to
what
go
you say.
down, man. You're never too
No,
big to go down,
absolutely.
especially if you're a
Facts.
brother, yo.
Facts.
You have to be careful what you say. Let's do this. I want to hear from you guys, you Roberto, and maybe people in the chat, who had the best cipher. So who should I start with? Let's start with Luda. All right, here's Luda.
I go by Luda, still smoking Buddha. Never gave a fuck what a hate nigga said on no computer. I don't need no mentions. Came from the trenches. So when I hit it from the back, might pull out the weave or her extensions. She like to holler, whine like a toddler. She don't want me to leave, but I told her I'm strictly about my dollars. Adios or deuces, never called no truces. Any nigga wanna beef, get the slaps and kicks like a producer. I'm used to drinking yak, gin, vodka, whiskey, sake, or tequila. So I ain't talking about marching when I say follow the leader. Ounce of weed up in my pocket. They call me Mr. Prophet and they love it when I talk my shit. So they like Luda, pop it. I go stupid, I go crazy. Go damn, that flow's amazing. I rap fast, I rap slow. I mean, whatever's the occasion, I'll facilitate to your needs. Anything that you could think of. I'm just having fun. Toast to the fans, pour a drink up. Luda!
Okay.
So that was Luda.
Love me some Luda.
Next
Life,
up.
I write it like a Christ chapter. When hip hop was dead. This is a prism of hip hop realism. From the block we arisen. Still we walk like Egyptians. It's the not need edition. I'm off the never rhyme soft. My mind's off the grid that I climbed off. I'm live till I sign off.
Okay.
Common.
Next up.
Been OJ in the Bronco, next to this Henny bottle. Skinny model, she clearly sniffing that Benny Blanco. Mami te amo, no cigar but cigar hablando. Cigar mamando, this ain't the combo for me, hermano. Let's get it pronto, have my burro Siciliano. I spit bananas since no one managed to kill Bonanno. Got bad grammar, but y'all don't quote me, I keep it bammer. Like Thor and I get low key, so keep a hammer. And you can't touch this, about my chicken, you barely cutlets. These rappers is barely cutting the mustard. I'm so disgusted, I can't discuss it. If Metro Boomin can't even trust it, don't even touch it. Won't be a puppet, you bring me drama, I bring the ruckus. To be specific, won't really kick it, I bring the buckets. I be the roughest, rootin', tootin', and slang shooting. No plan for losing, man, I'm just planning a clan reunion.
Ooh.
And last but
that's not
least,
fair.
They really
hold
is.
Last but
That's
not
not
least,
fair.
Hell don't even put me in a cipher.
Oh,
Only
no.
one outcome when I get a little hyper. You're gonna start seeing niggas getting nervous with they shook ass. Yeah, cause I'm merciless with the whoop ass. Don't get shook now. What you sliding for? As soon as you slide, you get stuck like a with sliding doors beat. Or parking my coupe. So I can come and run circles around you dudes like I'm stirring a soup. Better move from out my way for you to get pushed down. When he's whack spit, you be hearing a shush sound. Not shush, cause we wanna hear you on the come up, but shush, little homie, shut the f up. I see through the morning a little, you're translucent. You know I come from blood like a transfusion peak. Listen good, I hope y'all hear me on these features. Melt your face with dark and brown spots like brick oven pizzas. This make me wanna wrap my fingers round triggers. I skin clicks and make leather jackets out of rap. Damn it, I crash planets like asteroids. And the witnesses who watch say you're doing them foul, boy. I shrink down to size smaller than Altoids. And remain the reason the people be making wild noise. I'll body bag it till I'm done with this shit. Until the truth, I'm at the point, I'm having fun with this shit. Making families really looking, and somebody's really checking. We left them laying stiff in the frozen meat section. I'm on my pinky ring floss. Just be calling me cat daddy when they won't speak to the boss. Whips match up the Rubik's Cube color. So many rings on both of my fingers. Now they call me Ringling Brothers. Spit venoms for the people's enjoyment. Squeeze till they head pop and he's leaking like ointment.
Who
I'm
has
sensing a little
the
Jamaican
best?
bias for that last one right there.
See, it's not fair, right? Because two of my favorite rappers are on that lick. And I thought I was gonna go with Common till Method came. I have to go with Meth. I'm sorry. Meth for me. I just want to hear his voice.
Chat, who you taking? Let me hear you saying,
You know
chat.
what?
My son already said the first one was trash.
Oh yeah, first one was garbage. Man, because see,
Common
Meth was
dropped it,
reading
though.
off of his phone, right? So he really wasn't freestyling, but he kind of was because it was on the beat. He didn't know what the beat was probably going to be. Oh man, Common was fire though, man.
Yeah, I honestly I would go with Common if it wasn't Meth,
man,
and Busta, because
the Afro-Cuban in me wants to pick Method because of the Spanish he was spitting to.
It's tough,
damn.
Lonzo. For me, it'd be up there between Meth and Common.
Really? I would go with Common.
Even though Busta's my boy, Busta's my number one rapper, right? I just felt like it was too battle-ish, you know?
I'm going with Busta.
Jamaican bias, I knew it.
It's not Jamaican though.
You know?
If anything, you should be picking Common.
My bad. I'm gonna go with Common. It's tough.
See, I'm stuck between the two of your choices. See, we're more on point.
See, I love the line Common did what he said. My daughter was to be a lawyer. I told her to make firm decisions. I love that wordplay right there, lawyer and firm. Damn.
Common dropped the best to the beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I love what he was saying.
But I just love Method Man.
That nostalgia with Method Man, dude. It's
and the beat he chose too.
I'm gonna go with Common.
That was
gun to my head. I'm gonna go with Common.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We got one comment. You still going with Meth, Roberto?
I have to, man.
And I'm going with Busta. So we had a diverse one over there. Luda didn't make the cut, but I'm pretty sure if Danny was here, he would have picked Luda because he loves Luda. So my son said Busta too. Absolutely. I think Busta killed it. I think Busta is really good. See, that's why he's my kid, because we're on the same page for some things. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
Listen,
boy.
Busta's my boy. Busta's like I said, my number one rapper. But who dropped it the best to the beat? I felt like Common because that beat was fast and he just ripped right through it, yo. But Method's voice. If Busta had did something a little faster, no doubt I'd have picked him. No doubt.
I got you. I go with Busta. Roberto went with Meth, and JG went with Common. So it was good because all three of them I think killed it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, guys, it was a great show. Thank you, everybody. Tim Talk said Common. So okay, so we got 2 for Common over there, and 2 for Busta. Unfortunately, Method Man doesn't have another vote yet.
I don't need no witnesses.
We don't need no hooks. With that being said, guys, peace, love, and hair grease. See you on the next one. We will be back with a full episode. Well, we're almost full. We did an hour and 45 minutes. But next week will be a full 2 hours, and we'll get into some of these topics.
One day I'm going to get this piece down on point. I feel like I threw it up too soon, yo.
Sometimes you do.
I think you're going to end it, and I'm like, he's still going. He's still going. He's still going.
I mean, we've only been doing this for almost 3 years now, so sooner or later, that train will come true.
We'll get it.
Peace,
like
guys.
Peace.
See you in the next one.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Drowning in an endless sea. Take some time and stay with me. In the strength of your arms, keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me safe,
Not me.
safe and sound.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.